Oh, dear Zoom. Oh, dear Zoom. Please be nice to myself and my wonderful guest. Please be nice. Please be nice. Because, as my listeners know, you tend to be wonky on me, especially since the beginning of our relationship. So, so please be nice. Please be nice. All right, kids, welcome to Black Lion's Domain or Universal Grounding. This is where I actually talk to people that I've known for mere days to years. No matter what the length is, I'm happy and grateful for whomever comes on this show with me. Yes, I am. Well, this episode has been long in the making, and this beautiful sweetheart over here was actually recommended to me by my coach Adam. Hi, hon, out there, if you're listening to this, and Angel of Valuekins, I hope you both are doing well. All right, so this wonderful soul over here is a psychic, a healer, a mother, businesswoman, overall great human being, and wife to a wonderful man by the name of Bruce. But our relationship is a little bit deeper in the sense, and we shall get into that when the time comes. All right, so welcome to Black Lion's Domain, or what we call now Universal Grounding. Mayuko Fukino Chan from Japan.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful introduction and thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're
I'm very
welcome.
excited.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, hon. I appreciate you because you're one of my top supporters. And when I actually have a top supporter on my show, I usually tend to geek out a little bit more. So you deemed about a few weeks ago that I have obtained what is called flowtastic. So as we're talking, I'm actually in that state right now, kids. The flowtastic, if you haven't been aware, is basically the flow state turned up amped. Excuse me. So I have obtained the flow state in 2019 because I was willing to be scared. I was willing to fail and go beyond this flowtastic form, if you truly want to call it that, is all that. But I also come from a place of happiness and gratitude. I focus on what I have in front of me. And I just don't let the bag get in my way. That's the flow test. And as I focus completely, and even if I just close my eyes and breathe, I can feel it coursing through my veins. I can feel it through her veins. In a sense. It comes out more when I have a past lifer, when I have somebody that is in this state, and it makes me feel very good, especially when I actually am reflecting on my life for what it's worth. And I love it so much. I truly do. Well, I love her to pieces. And it's time to get you some Mayu Chan from Japan, kids. So, Mayu, please give my listeners your background, beloved.
My background. Okay. My background. So let's see. I always been different and always been curious about who I am, what I am, why I'm here on earth. And I'm always wanted to be spending time in nature. And then I'm always loving spending time with people. So that's my background. And then just happened to not happen to be, but I was given to be healer. I was um, given to be able to see and feel and hear the things that people don't usually see. So that's my background.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. To be around supernaturally gifted people. I said this to my first fiance, Mel Mel, I believe in 2007, 2008 ish. I need people more like us. And that was the truth. But I would not come along anybody like you or her or me. So I would say last year, for the better part of my adulthood, I've always been around people who I felt like I didn't show what, people who didn't understand me. But I'm happy and grateful for what I got. I really am. And hence why this podcast exists, kids. You don't need to listen to the donkeys and the elephants and the royals. I keep on saying that with a passion. You need more lovingness in your life, kids. Completely. I will keep on beating that drum for life. Not to death. For life. I gotta say that more often. I keep on saying the words to death. No. For life. For life. For life. I will keep on saying that for life. Because that's the absolute truth. All right, so Mayu love. I love you to pieces, you know that. All right, so when did you discover that you were supernaturally gifted, hun?
That's a good question. I I think I've always known. Um, that would probably go back all the way when I was younger,
You were really
before
small,
even
huh?
teenager. So when I was asked where are you from, I would always said, um, from out there. And because
Right.
I didn't like to define myself, like which country or which town or and so that leads into when when did I discover um so I always thought that unseen and seen worlds um so I didn't even think about unseen and seen worlds basically. So I've always seen a ghost spirit. Um, I felt I always felt the vibration of um, beings, whether that's your pet or whether that's when I walk into a crowd, if it's good vibe or bad vibe. So in a sense, I know it everybody had I know that everybody has a so-called psychic abilities, um, and we just have to uh, peel off the onions and sense because we're conditioned to see something different. Um, so when did I discover? But I think when I really, really discover um, mm, that it's not all in one, and it's this unseen and seen, or um, from a general public is seen as separate. And when I see things, or when I feel things, or when I um, n- see things in the bounds, those consider as different and special. Uh, so when did I realize that and discover that? Is thinking when I was in elementary school.
Oh, sounds like me when I was about maybe 4 to 6ish. I had to take a range. I
Yeah,
got
it's about that time. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Hmm. No, I was already talking to animals when I was younger than 7.
oh wow.
Um, and yeah, I just knew when they're hurting, like not because they're physical. I mean, I can see physically when something is wrong. It's more like inside, and I would know. Um, then I thought everybody can see um, dead spirit in a sense, but I found out that they don't. So I think that's the very first time that okay, I know I should not be talking about it. They looked at me, what are you talking about?
oh wow. Oh
Because oh my god, I thought, oh my god, somebody was trying, too much leaning on the window of a hospital. That's dangerous. And uh Mayu, that was in Japan. Mayu Chan, what are you talking about? And then like, oh, okay, I guess nobody sees it. I'm not supposed to say it. Maybe
wow.
that was my first thing. It's about probably 7 years old. Um,
Oh, that's
the second
horrible.
big thing, was um, I kind of briefly mentioned it on my podcast, but um, that's uh, I experienced my grandfather standing right by my bedside.
Oh
My
boy.
grandfather lived in Japan, and I lived in California. So there was no way he's standing by my bedside. And then we just came back from seeing him, and he was ill. Um, then I mean, I heard him talk to me. It's like he came to say goodbye. And so I thought he was literally here, but that wasn't the case. But as soon as I woke up, get out of my, step out of my bedroom, phone rang, and um, then, I just knew that was about him. And my mom, picked up the phone, and she was already crying. She was trying to explain why she's crying, but I just told her that's, it's okay. I know. And that scared the heck out of her. So then I know, okay, there's not something I should be sharing because I don't want to scare, my mom.
I hear you.
Yeah, so that was my second big thing. So, and then since then um I kind of didn't want to do anything to do with that. I kind of not share anything. I even probably said I don't want to see it, or I don't want to communicate with.
The other side.
Yeah. Um um yeah, that was the beginning of it. That was like a, hey, knock knock, you have this, I've given you this, use it.
Hmm. That takes me back to when I first noticed something. I was roughly about really 16 when I first got a message from the other side.
Oh my
I
god,
believe
I was 16 too.
wow.
Yeah, wow.
So I was 16. I said this on your show, and I believe I shared this different times on it. I'm not ashamed to say it. So 2003 is the year. I am going nowhere in life. I made my parents unhappy. I couldn't obtain a girlfriend. My grades were the absolute junks. And I felt, okay, maybe it's time for me to go. But then as I'm getting ready to try to attempt something, I can hear a voice say, you have a purpose. You have to live. You have to be an adult. It's rough on you, yes, but you have a purpose. Don't do what you're doing. And then I listened, and it's been very rough on me, but I've weathered the storms. And that voice, I've come to call it the angel of mercy. And I believe that's part of what people would probably call source energy. And every single time I think about my life in nearly the past 20 years that I've had this awakening, I am in awe about who I've come into, who I've contacted. That really didn't come to the forefront, or I knew of her until I was 20. I got kissed by Mel Mel, my highest grossing female on this, until Amanda Please or Amanda Goddard showed up. Mel Mel kissed me in 2007. I was sleeping in her bed and I was kind of tossing and turning. And when I woke up, I told her I saw something. I said I saw stuff that seemed very real. And she said, those are your memories. I said, those are my memories. Yeah, those are your memories. And we talked about it. There was a specific scene that I saw in my head. I saw a woman, a redhead woman going, nee, 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 nee. And I saw a guy painting a fence. That was us. Mel Mel was the nee, 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 nee. I was the painter. And she explained further that that is only the tip of the iceberg. We have always had this bond to each other. And that was the truth. We've always had some style of life together. And she may not be mine in this life, but I recognize that she was there a good while of time. And whatever time I had with her was great. And there's been women who have loved me since, excuse me, who's, who've taken care of me. They've known to some degrees or another who and what I am. And to those women, if they ever listen to this, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But this whole entire me being who and what I am proudly didn't come until last year. I felt a calling. I remember Mel Mel wasn't in my life at that point. We haven't seen each other in about maybe 2-ish, 3-ish years. And I remember hearing these two songs. Both are by this Canadian actress named Alex Johnson, who was the star of a show called Instant Star. One was called Don't You Dare, the other was called 2 a.m. And for some odd reason, I woke up about 2 a.m. in the morning to both. And I wound up crying. And I said, what's going on here? What's going on here? And I heard something say, go find Mel Mel. And I said, all right, I'll go find her. Lo and behold, I wound up seeing her brother and sister before I saw her. And we talked for the first time in God knows when. Then I returned to social media on May 4th. And kids, I'm getting close to that 1 year anniversary. Oh boy. All right, back to the story. Uh all right, so after May 4th, 2020, I got in touch with Mel Mel by way of Facebook, and lo and behold, she achieved her ultimate dream. She's married with a son. And I knew how much she wanted both, especially the child. And as I think about it and my eyes close, I can feel that flowtastic get even stronger because somebody that I cared about got what she wanted. And Mel Mel, if you're ever listening to this, congratulations again. And I'm happy and proud that you are taking care of yourself, especially in this nasty epidemic. I truly. That's absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
And as
Indeed.
I look at Mayu Chan over here, both are examples of happiness in a marriage. And anybody that's listened to my podcast in the last year plus knows of Zachary Shiloh's biggest dream. And the sound you just heard, if you're not watching this, I've taken off my glasses because I probably am getting ready to cry. But you know what? It's for work because I will keep on saying these forever until it. My biggest thing I want outside of a world where we don't have to answer to the donkeys, the elephants, and the horses, or politicians, if you want to use that term, is to be with what I call Zachary Shiloh's honey. That is my soul. That's the person who I'm supposed to be contracted to in this life. I've done several episodes on her. What I feel are concrete, what I've released, and gave examples of women or a woman that I have a crush on, who honeykins I am open to being like. And I'm not ashamed to say this person's name. Hello, Blurkins. Hello, my greatest influence, my mentor, my friend, my sandbox crush. And I will always, because that's the absolute truth. That's the absolute truth. Just like Mayu Chan's a very beautiful woman. And I bless her husband for having. And I will not be ashamed to say this. If she was some years younger and wasn't contracted to Mr. Mayhill, hello, hi, sir, if you're listening to this, I would be trying to get married to her because she personifies everything I want in a woman for the most part, complete. So I'm not ashamed to say that. And a certain somebody who has been a guest on this show says, you have to watch yourself, Zach, what you say and what you do. Um, I don't have to watch myself quite so much, gentlemen. I love you to pieces, but I'm tired of trying to watch myself in every single thing I do in life. I have to watch myself in where I live. I have to watch myself when I am walking in public. Black Lions Domain, love. You know this better than anybody. That it's my place to feel free. And I will be honest to you. I will be honest to her. I'll be honest to anybody that comes on this show. I'm not hiding who and what I am, Jenna, or anybody listening to this. I refuse. I am owning myself. I am being who I'm supposed to be. And that's love personified. Yeah, sure. Some women will come on here and tell me, oh, I have no interest in you. Cool, cool. But I still love them to pieces. I still love them for life. And Jenna love, if you are listening to this, don't think I don't love you at all. I'm just owning myself going forward until Zachary Shiloh's Honeykins comes to forefront. So I will keep on telling women, regardless, even if when Honeykins is in a manifested form, we need more lovings. I keep on saying this.
I agree. I
I keep on
agree.
saying it. So I will tell any woman that comes on this show, she's beautiful. Because not many guys, heterosexual guys, especially, would say that. So, Jenna Love, if you're listening to this or watching it, I'm not apologizing for what I'm saying or doing. I'm owning myself one more time. And I'll say that to you too. You are beautiful, Jenna Marie Hernandez, my dear friend, a great influence into why I am so inclusive and diverse. So I'm not apologizing. And I pray to God that I'm not coming off like I'm being sexual harassing. I pray that. Seriously. But we need more lovings, gentlemen. You'll even say that. Knowing your past, what you go through in the present, and only God knows what you'll obtain in the future. But I'll always be there to watch over you, like the shadow and protector that I always have. And that's me actually promoting my self sufficiency to some degrees on that one. All right, back to me. You go, love over here. All right, hon. So speaking of marriage, when did you meet your beloved Bruce?
Oh my goodness. When did I meet him? Feels like I've known him for a long time. But actually the first time I met him, is 2012.
Oh wow, not that long.
Yes.
Oh,
And
oh.
then how I met him, how I met him is it wasn't really pleasant for my side, especially because uh, he made me cry, not in a bad sense, because I just I was just crying because this was at the first time I spent time with him was on the mat at the martial arts studio.
Aw, meditation?
So what was it?
Meditation?
No, so my son Ricky just invited me to take martial art class with him. So when teenager boy asked mom to join him for what what he loves to do, which was American Kempo, I won't say no to that, right? It's I think it's a rare thing. So I said, okay. And I wasn't really thinking it through, I guess. So I said yes to it. And then I signed up. That was about my birthday, around my birthday time. And then um so the the head teacher suggested for me to take a private lesson. And then I was supposed to be taking the class, taking this private lesson with the head instructor. But I was waiting for him to get his, uh, work done. And then, um, Miss Mayuko, I'm sorry, I can't get this done. So is it okay for Mr. Mayhill to teach you? And in my head, he's known to be really strict and scary. And so I said, yes, sir, because respectfully, I'm not saying no. I said yes. But in my head, I was saying, oh no, I'm in trouble. I don't know. Uh-oh. And then so I showed up, and then he's waiting on the mat. And then I had to excuse myself. Sir, I'm sorry, I need to go to the bathroom really quick. Sorry. And then I kind of excused myself to the ladies' room. And I can't be there for a long time. I have to come out. But I was just like, within maybe 1 minute, I had to think about excuses not to participate, not to show up on this class. But obviously, I didn't have a good excuse. So, I kind of made up my mind, and I got on the mat, and then I went through, um, I started the first class with them. And so it wasn't him, because I went through a physical, emotional, abusive relationship. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to sign up. But also at the same time, my son invited me, and so I showed up at the first class. But it was you know, in trauma got triggered by him showing me something, and then I end up crying. And
Oh,
I feel bad still. Like I feel so I made him confused because he didn't know what I was going through. But it was good. It was good. That was first step for me to um, recognize my trauma and scan through why I, where and why I'm feeling the way I was feeling. And it was like obvious because of the relationship a form of relationship I had. But that was the day that I started to not to walk away from the fear, but to um, connect with the fear in a safer way, so then I can um, heal and release.
Oh, okay. I think I understand where you're coming from. So you came from an abusive relationship. You started to see Bruce in a better light, and you thought, okay, I will give this guy a shot. Let's see what he can do. If I understand our dear friend, my mentor, my crush, my greatest influence, Blair, if I can use a proper phrasing, you saw your problem and then you pivot.
Right, yeah, pivot or shift, or yes, that's correct. Yeah, so he um he's definitely my mentor, so we became friends. We are completely uh we have a completely opposite personality. um so we definitely learn from each other.
Oh,
And um so he introduced me to things that I've never tried, and he definitely experienced something that he didn't, you know, experience before by living with me, you know, living with me, doing, doing life together. So I it was a good it was a he was at the right time at the right place, even though I thought it wasn't. But I mean, superficially, seeing that how it happened. But this was a few years after I went through divorce, and I didn't know so-called the manifestation, how to manifest certain things. But I knew what I didn't want in any other relationship.
oh,
So because I learned it in a hard way. But I mean, I'm not saying it was all bad, the previous marriage. Certainly a good and bad. Me, I from a bigger perspective, there's no bad and good in my opinion. But I did learn. I grew from a former, previous marriage. And but it was definitely a time for me to pivot or shift. Um, and So physically, I learned how to, learn self defense. But also, that's when I learned um, mind self defense. And then that's about the started off a little bit during the last part of a previous marriage, but that's when I learned to um, have a conversation with a higher source. So
oh.
I'm definitely, I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. However, um, that's when I learn how to have a relationship with the higher, the source. So and then that's when I learned about angels um being present at all times, and that's when I learned how to ask for guidance. That's when I learned how to listen. Didn't come so easy, but eventually. And then I'm still learning and working for that. And, and then that's when I learn um, how to take that inspiring action, listening to the guidance, intuition, and those I don't know if it's called skill set, but skills developed while I'm training in the martial arts. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely thankful for, yeah, the training I had, and then that continues. I'm not, daily practicing, although I have to be aware, because my husband may may come and, make sure I'm aware of things around me at all times. So, but other than that, I'm not training as I was used to, but it just that, spiritual development and, psychic development continues.
Oh, I love that story so much. My flow state is even better. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like martial arts training was definitely my sharpening my axe in a sense.
Oh, that's great. And there's a perspective, honeykins, that I am thinking about. And as I think about this woman, I say to myself, maybe she could be my next mentor. Maybe she could actually teach me some stuff because it sounds like she's been very successful. I won't say her name out of respect, but uh, I've seen some of her stuff. I've seen some of her interviews, and from what I've understood, feels very similar in some ways, but different in others. And she was Honeykins. I'd be happy as a kid in the candy shop that I am. So the likes of you actually being married, Jenna Love, if you're actually listening to this, having her own spouse, whoever. I even say this, my parents. I always go back to that they were the first thing that I remember and are the prime example of relationships that can last forever. And I've been on my own almost 2 years, but now, or since November 2019, I've been looking for what's people, some would say, is forever. And I can feel it. It's around the corner. I don't know where. I don't know where. I don't know where. I don't know when. Okay, that's the proper term. But when I look at you, when I look at everybody that's has what I have or wants to have, I can't help but bless it because it makes me feel good. See you guys with your partners. It
Mm.
reminds me of the good times I've had with my past one and what I look for in the future. Um, I think the law of attraction actually came along in my life. I would say about November 2019. I just got through with this wonderful woman named Darlene, who was my rock for 9.5+ years. But she wasn't the one, as a recent Vision Quest has deemed. She wasn't the one. If she was the one, she would have stayed. No matter what circumstances came our way, she would have stayed. Nobody would have came between us. But I blessed what I had with her. And I started looking for what I am now calling honey, because I called her lady previously. But then I let her go, and that nudge, that knock on wood that you talked about, came back. And I would say since, oh boy, earlier this year, I forgot what point, but I know certain signs started to come, and I said, oh boy, I think it's time for Zachary Shiloh to have a romantic partner, because I've been on my own for so long, and certain people are saying, dude, you shouldn't be alone. You should have somebody. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. So your marriage recently has been anniversaried,
Yeah.
celebrated. I remember seeing the post by you and Rosa, and I said, oh, this is great beans. And if this is my show, this is great beans, kid. Seriously. And
Yeah,
I,
we got married 2017. So we've been only married for what? 4
4
years?
years. Wow.
Feels like 40
Congratulations
years.
again. Oh, it feels like 40. I agree. When you actually have somebody by your side, it doesn't feel like a long time. It feels as if you've been with them undescribably. Feels like you've been
I
together for so long.
it's I know I often talk about time in a different dimension. We're talking about multi dimensions, right? Uh,
Yeah.
like time doesn't exist. So we talk about flowtastic. When you're in a flow, time goes by so fast.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah. So I don't know if that makes sense, but um, obviously we were only married 4 years, but that I don't feel that because and so I can't really put the time in it. I mean, so as a human being, a 3D, matter, it's 4 years. But to me, I feel, I don't know if I should say longer, but it's like more
5D, more spiritual.
our our friend Stephanie talk about 5D and
Yeah, hint, hint.
well,
Hi,
right?
Stephanie kids.
I'm I'm promoting.
Yeah, so am I. And
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to do it right now. All right, so kids out there, we have a lovely book coming out this Tuesday, the 20th of April, called She is Magic. Yes. It will be out on Amazon for 99 cents. It will actually be going towards St. Jude's Children's Hospital, just as the previous magic books written by Blair Hayes or Larkins and Company. Please support that book, and I shall be divulging in that myself. So I would not be promoting anything that I would not be reading myself, kids. No, no, no. And I'm not saying this to kiss Blair's rear. No, I actually was reading some of this book stuff before she ever was my mentor, before she ever was my friend. before she ever was my crush, and all this other yeah that I actually stated. So I'm saying this as somebody that loves to read books. Please support it when it's out because I eventually will have a Steph Beacons back on this show. I will have, I'm sure, other people from that cast to join us. And with Larrikins, I don't know when she's gonna come on Black Lion's Domain again, but I gotta believe it'll be after one River Rose hopefully is born. We shall see. Blair has given me her word that eventually she will return to Black Lion's Domain. So whatever that happens, kids, get ready. It's gonna be a fun ride. Oh,
I
what
know. I'm gonna be having her too.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, speaking of which, Hunt, we've already talked about your psychic abilities and whatnot, and no need to go further. One thing that we have in common, kids, is not only are we past lifers and people with a whole lot of energy that's connected to the universe called Reiki, but Mayu Chan over here has a brand new venture. And this came about after one Adam Podsetnik, or Adam Hun, as Zachary Shiloh would say, was on my show. And I would believe a little bit after one Angel of Valuekins, Val White, was on here too. So Mayu Chan and I, we started to really gel, I think, after May Cause Miracles, or excuse me, during May Cause Miracles. And she was picking my brains about this little ditty that you're actually listening to called Black Lions Airspace. She was asking me, oh, how it came about, why I do it, and where I can, where she can listen to it. And I said, okay, here's everything. And she was enthralled. She was happy, and she said, "Oh, I would love to be a part of your Black Lions Domain or Universal Grounding. I am serious about doing this thing called podcasting." I said, "Ooh, that is absolutely great beans." So we talked further, and she brought me on to what she is calling, my dear,
Majestic moments.
and I have plugged that sucker away for weeks on end. And I will continue to plug it
Yes,
away
thank
because
you. You are so wonderful cheerleader.
yes, 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 yes. And I will never stop. I will never stop. Because you, my dear, are a great example of the lovin's we need in this world that Zachary Shiloh keeps on saying we need. And I believe Adam, Han, and the Angel of Value kids would actually agree. And not only them, but Stephanie, Mahoney, the Larrikins, anybody that's known you for the last year plus would say that too.
Oh,
So, how did you really get into this genre called podcasting?
oh my goodness. I just got myself in recently. Um, but I've been thinking, mm, I've been thinking just the beginning of last year, before this pandemic um, happened. And then, I was honored and you know just had the amazing time with She Is Magic always. And I just gained so many beautiful She's Magic family. And from there, written a chapter And I think I had this um, inner child work in a sense. And not only, in that She's Magic Always, I mentioned about a little bit about ancestral healing. So when I visited, I don't want to talk too much about that, but
Yeah.
because I want to read.
Well,
But
I'll gladly go back and read it. I may have read a smidge before you and I started talking, but continue. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, 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 it's okay. No, so when I returned to Japan 2 years ago, summer 2019, I I visited my father's hometown, and that's not where I grew up. But I had this sort of like going through my rewinding my movie in a sense. So my
A
life
reflection.
movie. Yeah. So then in the very beginning of elementary school age, I found the sort of like a love of writing, whether that's poems or in writing you can write whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
And so that yeah, so when I so my elementary school teacher introduced me to writing. It's part of it, and then she featured in a classroom newsletter. And but that's part of it was for me to feel freedom in a sense, because I at that time so I think I was in first grade, and then I just came back from United States to Japan to live in Japan. So my reading skill in Japanese and writing skill in Japanese were not met. A grade level wasn't met. So, but this teacher didn't really limit the style of writing. So that kind of, you can lie whatever you want. That's what exactly what she said in Japanese. So, oh, so it doesn't have, it doesn't have to be something happening. It could be something in my head, which is I'm really good at. Um, so that wasn't one of the things that I like writing. Oh, you know what? At one time in my childhood, I wanted to be on the radio, or I wanted to be speaking broadcaster, or so I wanted to be a dancer because I was a dancer, and I did that part, and I taught dance too. So I was kind of
Ooh.
going through my childhood dreams in a sense. What else did I want to be? And so I did the writing, and then I mean, I will continue writing. Um, and so then during that time and during that trip, I realized, I like to create something. So then I was invited to speak about to one of my teachers podcast, and then I was invited to talk about Ho'oponopono, which I practice. And then that's kind of that was my nudge
Oh.
that, oh, you can do the podcast too. You've been thinking about it. When I listen to the podcast, and then can I do that? That was my first question. And I listened, and can I do that? And so then when I was invited to get interviewed, so that was my like a huge nudge. Oh, maybe, if I don't find out how to do the podcast, there's no way I'm going to be on podcast. So it's just that we often talk about synchronicity, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay. So who do I ask? And I can look up and search on Google, but I'm more hands-on kind of person. I want somebody to tell me, this is how you can do it, or this is because there's so many information out there. I can't really nail it down. So then you came in.
Yeah.
So that was just the perfect timing. Same thing with the writing the chapter for She's Magic. Always same thing is Adam and Val. Hey, why don't you? And then the Blue came in, and we were in the same program together. And so it's just that's a synchronicity. And then podcasts, like, maybe I should do it. Like, stop giving me myself excuse, and then you come through. It's so then I know, this has to be done in a fun way.
Aw.
So
I
I've
love
been I've been having super fun.
I love stories like that, kids. It makes me even more in this flow test. Yes,
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Listening to your podcast, and that inspires me. And then you make sure you were just such a great my accountability partner. And so, like, okay, I'm gonna do this today. One thing towards make, making that podcast happen.
uh,
So I thank you very much.
you're welcome, and it was well worth it. Okay, so our history, me and hers, in this life at least. I believe Adam Podsednik was looking for somebody that was supposed to be in his top three recommendations. He already recommended the Angel of Valuekins, Val White. I knew that was going to be just like that. And then he recommended one Jamie Valeka Arner, or better known as Jamiekins, as I would call her. Uh, so I already had those two ready at some point. And then he said, "Oh, I have to look for a third." I said, all right. And he started giving me a list of people. And then I saw your name and I said, hmm, she seems familiar. And then I had to come around. I said, why does this woman feel familiar? And then lo and behold, you were, and she is magic always. And I said, oh, okay. I get where this comes from. She's actually been under Blair. Okay. And then I had to ask around and I said, okay, is this the same Mayuko Fukino Mayhell that did She is Magic? And Adam said yes. And then Valuekin said yes. And whoever else. And I said, I was right. I was right to trust my intuition. And lo and behold, I think I was the one to message you. I think I was the one to message you. And I said something along the lines of, oh, hi, I'm Zachary Shiloh. I'm the host of this podcast called Black Lions Airspace. And I am the last chapter in the book called They Are Magic.
Mhm.
I would like to feature you on my show at some point. And we started to get to know each other. And this
Mhm.
is a little bit outside of the podcast comfort zone, kids, but we'll get back to the actual podcasting bit. So I thought we were eventually going to do Black Lions Domain or Universal Grounding as it stands. So we actually had a private chat, me and her, and we're both in that flowtastic state. And I'm digging her, and I said to Adam Podsednik and the Valuekins, before we even talked, me and her on Zoom, I said, she looks great for her age. I don't I don't know what it was. And you actually chimed in on May Cause Miracles one day. I said, what? Excuse me? That is not her age. Get out of here. Stop blaming yourself right now. You are not blank. I said, no way. And you said it. in our private chat, you and me, and I said, "Ooh, okay, I dig her even more for her age. Oh, that's great. The fact that she owns her age, kids, turned me on. And I'm not talking about sexual. I'm actually meaning this as a means of respect overall. So we are digging each other. The vibration is right with the flow tastic, as she would call it. I didn't actually call this higher form of flow anything until I actually got on her podcast. But we're getting to that point. All right, so we're talking, blah, 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 blah. And I'm noticing something between us. And I said, why does she seem familiar? I literally had to sniff it like a tracker. I said, why does this feel familiar? And she said something along the lines of we may have had a little bit of history in a different life. And I said, oh, really? And then lo and behold, the next few days, I'm starting to see something. I'm starting to see this samurai sitting in a meditative state. And this beautiful woman is talking to me in Japanese. And their relationship is very self sufficient and loving and powerful. And that relationship was us. I've come to respect it. I keep on saying this, kids. I'm a proud past lifer. And I know somebody when I feel it. And her name in that life was Yurika. Mine was Satoshi. And she was always my voice of conscience when I needed one, especially knowing that we were involved in a war at that point, I believe. And it felt right that she's in my life now, but in the sense of being an older sister. And I love it. I love it. I love it. So she started approaching me about this podcasting a bit and her ideas. And I said, that's pretty good. And it even came to the forefront when I guessed it for her and what she is actually deeming as episode two, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Episode two. Okay, episode two of Majestic Moments, which should be coming out, I believe, this coming Wednesday. If not Wednesday, then Thursday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about everything and whatnot. And on the road to that, she's trying to say, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Her passion is there. Like, if there was one person on the earth that is passionate about being a podcaster, that's not me or anybody that I've associated myself with in the last 3 to 4 years, this hun over here, she personifies it. Like she was sick. She was physically, morbidly sick. And I literally was in her energy field. I said, oh, no, 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 no. You got to take care of yourself. I love you to pieces. I love that you are passionate about doing this, but health is more important than podcasts. I will keep on ringing that for life, kids. I even say that to myself. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to do it because I want to be there. If not 100%, I want it 90 to 95, bottom line. So I told her, Yuri Jen, I love you to pieces, but no, 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 you're not doing this to yourself. No, you used to get on me in Japan for doing certain things. No, you are going to give yourself some time to rest. We'll come together when you're ready. And she said, oh, come on. I said, we'll get to it. Don't worry. I'm still here. I'm transitioning now from Wednesday through Saturday to Monday through Friday. Take away Wednesday. I'll be here. Don't worry. And She listened, and it came out. It came out on Majestic Moments that I was right. I needed her to be well on the 30th of March, which is 2 months after my own birthday. I had an intuition and I followed through
Wow.
on it. I had followed through on it. And
I'm
I
I'm
wasn't.
so I'm so glad that you're so intuitive that, and then this lifetime around you are the one, like helping me to be grounded, right?
And
And
yeah.
so I'm out here, even though I'm feeling in my body, I'm out here, which I like to be out here, right? And I was gonna do it. And then so you kind of pull me down. So you are the king of universal grounding. So you pull me down. Hey, just you be in that physical moment, and then just take care of it. That way you can release it, right? So
Hmm.
that day, um, in my head, oh my God, do I have to listen to this? I really want to do this. I wanna get this going. And then but I I know that was my in my head, like, oh my gosh, do I really have to listen? And then like, oh, okay. But you know,
uh,
I had to settle down and I listened. I put myself, I got grounded. But you know what happened the next day?
wow.
I slept a whole day and a half. So you are right on the money that you literally saw it, that I wasn't even, me myself. I should be aware of it, but I was like, I was so fixated on get things done. And although I felt like I was having fun, though, that was a kind of tricky part of it, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but then, yeah, and so I was out here, definitely out here. And so even though I was going here and down there, but I was not really grounded. Then you kind of helped me to release that. Okay, let's just be and just rest. And then when that came in, oh my goodness, I never slept that much. I was like a whole. I didn't even eat. Zachary-san, I didn't even eat. I was so that much tired. I never felt it like that. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. And I always keep on saying this, what a passion gets. It's not that I don't care about people when they want to come on this show. Great example is this teenager, or shall I say young adult, named Jiggy or Jiggykins from the Pipe Bombshell Boys. I will take you back to, I think this is a smidge after Adam Hunt came on the show. Jiggykins, meaning, wanted to come on my show. We've already made the deal with him and Troykins, his partner in podcasting. And Jiggy actually chimed in and said, "Oh, I have this family thing." And I said, "Uh oh, uh, Jiggykins, you need to go and actually be with your family. I am okay with that. I am not about you actually having to rush." And this kid, he was trying to rush himself. I said, "Oh no, no. No. If people are gonna come on Black Lions Domain, I want them fully focused. I want them at their best, not this feeling kind of shot deal. No." So I said something along the lines of this: "Jiggy, you will come on this show when you are ready. When you're ready. There's no mommy, there's no daddy, there's nobody in your way. So I'm willing to negotiate your reschedule." And he said, "Oh, but I want to come on your show." And I said, "Thank you for your opinion, but you are still brand new to this. there will be times where you are going to be forced to not podcast. And I'm not saying this to scare you. That's real life.
Hmm.
There's been plenty of times where I did not podcast because of real life. I'll take you back real quick to December 2020. I was supposed to actually have then roaming around twice one day. And I believe that was the 27th. But because of Amazon and their crazy scheduling, I had to cancel. I had to cancel. And I was upset, but I said, you know what? This place may have cost me what I was appreciating for a certain network that took care of me. But I said, okay, I'll work it. I'll work this shift. I'm making extra money, and that's gonna help me get rid of what I had to deal with at the time, or still am dealing with. I am still in debt, kids. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still thousands of dollars in debt, but as of this date, I'm close to one piece of debt going bye bye. Period. One
Yay.
piece of debt almost gone. If I have it my no, when I have my way, I will be credit card debt free either by the end of May or by the time that summer tour starts.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Now the other piece of the puzzle, as far as Zachary Shiloh's debt is concerned, I still have $7,000 plus to pay Mary Morrissey, but I'm gonna make it happen, captains. Yes, I am. I don't know if Amazon will still be in my life as that road continues, but you better believe where there's a will, there's a way. But back
Yep.
to Jimmykins and this whole entire podcasting bit is concerned. Health is more important than podcasts. I told that to her especially because I felt it in her voice. She and I, we more so communicated by way of vocal clips on Facebook, and I could hear it in her voice. It was absolutely shocked. I said, "Oh no, oh no, Maya Chan, Yuri Chan, you're going to bed. You're going to bed. I love you to pieces. Yes, I do. But you ain't coming on Black Lion's domain looking like you're about to pass out. Hun, no, no, no." So I said to her, health is more important than podcasts. Learn that phrase, adapt it, and go to bed. And she said, okay, 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 I'll do it. And I could hear it in her voice that she was hesitant, like she wanted to kind of wring my neck for actually caring. But I
Mm.
care about my guests, kids. I keep on saying it. We need more lovin's. And one form of lovin's is self-lovin's. She preaches that more than any other female that I've ever known. We need more self-sufficiency. This is where
Oh
Zachary
my God.
Shiloh gets most of his self-sufficiency from. Her, her. Yes, I do. And because she was my source of self-sufficiency, yes, she is, I had to give her that much respect. So I said, all right, we'll make the recording happen, but we're going to do it more towards the end of March because you need your rest. That's the bottom line. And we made it happen. And that recording is absolutely fun, kids.
I know.
I what
So
that is,
excited for everybody to hear it.
and that's the recording that we started using the phrase flowtastic as far as this higher sense of the flow state is concerned. Because I've obtained this thing, I would say maybe November-ish last year.
Hmm.
If my memory serves me right, I obtained this higher sense of the flow back in November. And it did come about from what I laid out earlier in the show. Please listen to that clip and memorize it. Thank you very much. So I needed a name for it. And I went on her podcast and she was talking about, oh, you've got this flowtastic thing. And I said, mm, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. But she was talking about my business, and I was still thinking about this form. And I said, Bing bong, flowtastic. This higher sense of the flow state is called flowtastic because the flow state, in my point of view, is more obtained by way of failure, scared, and the willingness to overcome them. Where now this thing is not just those three things personified. I'll lay it out again. The flowtastic as I close my eyes and I can lay into my it's not just those. It's coming from a place of happiness and gratitude. It is the ability to want to serve others. I believe that's part of the flowtastic. And when you have that, you feel as if you're on air or if you're flowing through water, like Bruce Lee would say, the Last Dragon would say, many other things that have had the general flow state in it would say. You have come to the pinnacle, the true human form. That is the flowtastic. And I will never stop saying this. And I'll take off my glasses if you are watching this. And I'll lay them down now. And I'll look you in the camera. The flowtastic, I want you all out there to experience genuinely. We don't need the politicians. We don't need the royals. We need each other. That's what I feel. And I've felt that way since I was 14, completely. And the fact that the Mayu Chans, the Blairs, the Jenners have all arrived in my life makes it even stronger. And I will never stop my mission in life, ever. And I'm not talking just as Satoshi the Samurai. No, I am talking as Zachary Shiloh Watts, author of Black Lions Roar in General Human Being. We need each other, especially God knows when this coronavirus situation goes bye-bye permanently. Until then, we need to come alive for each other and have this greater sense of understanding that we are all different, but we are the same. Mm. That's why I invest myself in the likes of her, the Blairs, the Dapper couples, whoever I had in Black Lions Domain in the last 2 to 4 months, because they see the same thing in me. I see the same thing in them. We're not quite so different. We may actually have different tones by way of skin. We may have somewhat different philosophies, but the main goal is the same. We all want lovings. And I'll never stop to that. So, kids, if you're gonna be in Black Lions Domain, you better actually have that same goal in mind. And I respect you, no matter if you're black, if you're white, if you're Asian. I love you all, regardless. and they'll never change, ever. And Jenna Love, if you're listening to this still, I'm not apologizing again, hon. I'm not apologizing. You brought this side out of me when you appeared in Universal Grounding. You laughed a little bit when I slipped up calling it roaming around. But from that point forward, I've said it proudly that this is universal grounding, and it shall remain that way until I feel another change in the wind that says, okay, this is not universal grounding anymore. It's just Black Lions domain. So, universal grounding, this is, and I say that confident. And I'm not saying that out of anger. I'm saying that out of love for all of you out there. And that's how it shall remain until the end of time. All right. So we plugged away the podcast and your lovely lineup, hun, for the future, especially one Stephanie Mahoney. Hi, hun. If you're listening to this, is a guest, correct?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder what episode that's gonna be. I'll just listen to it when it's ready. But Steffi kids, whenever I'm done talking to Mayu over here, if you're not listening to this, I'm gonna DM you and find out a little bit more details. I'm not gonna ask for everything, but just your experience overall, like how it felt to talk to Mayu in the vocals, because I know you love her to pieces. You won't shut up about her either. You won't shut up about her either. All right, so I think we've done everything. It's time to start wrapping this bad boy up because I'm sure you want to spend time with Brucey and your kittykins. So, my love, my dear Yuriko-chan, what can Zachary Shiloh do for you going forward? Next son.
Hmm. Just being fantastic and continue to be not only my cheerleader but also with everybody else like you've been doing. It's been uh, an honor and it's also exciting to be on your show. So thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's been a long time in the making. I keep on saying it, kids, that I've been trying to get her for the longest time. And the road to it was well worth it. And it's even more fun because I've been attracting what possibly can be honeykins and swarms, kids. I said it to the universe. I'm open. I'm open to it. Well, the universe lately has been making it known that Honeykin's hair color is black, so she'll be brunette for sure. I'm thinking this is a chance that it possibly can happen. I attracted Mayu over here. The next guesting universal grounding is one Janet Berendt. Hi, Jan Love, if you're listening to this. She's Asian. The second to last female guest on this lovely interview segment is named Dion Garcia. She's an Asian. So I'm thinking Asians may be Honeykins' race. Maybe, maybe. I'm open to it. I love me some Asians. Yes, I do. Well, where's the one? One. All right. So, what do I also say? I already did the what can I do for you? Your hopes for the future, Yuriko Chan, is or are.
What? I'm
Your hopes
sorry.
for the
I
future,
didn't hear it.
beloved.
Sorry.
Hopes for the future. I love when I actually say
Hope,
that to people. They actually space out. Go ahead. Your future hopes are.
um, hopes for the future. To individually and then collectively learn more about yourself, learn more about each other, and expand each one of our beauty.
Ooh, I love that. I love
Something
that.
like
Oh, I love that. The pieces, or excuse me, holy. I'm gonna stop saying pieces. I love it holy. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. And you can be my cheerleader to get me to stop saying pieces or something else. I'll actually listen to this podcast and I'll let you know, and you can hold me accountable. We'll be accountability partners. Sounds good to you.
yeah. Yes,
All
thank you.
right. Last thing, hun. I started this with our dear coach in May Cause Miracles, Adam Potsednik, on January 3rd. If I cannot get it today, can I bother you within the next week to a month for people that you feel would join me in this universal grounding setting?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. With that said, kids, before I let the lovely one over here go do what she got to do you have anything else you would like to plug, love?
Oh, you get cut off a little bit.
Would you plug away anything else, love, before we go into the sunset together?
Hmm. Well, I love to get to know many people. So find me on the Facebook and Instagram. And then and then now we can be countable too. I'm creating my website. So eventually it will go. I will share with you.
And kids, before I let you go, I got something to tease you with. Yes, I do. Okay. Come on, buddy. Get up. All righty. Time to move some stuff around. If you are watching this on YouTube, say hello to a certain piece of mail.
Oh my goodness.
This came in the mail unexpectedly yesterday. I was thinking it was
That
supposed to be in the mail today or Monday, but I thought I would actually share it with you all out there. All right, so it says, Dear Zachary son, thank you for being your beautiful self and being my first guest for Majestic Moments. Sending big love and big hugs, Mayuko. And all this came in a lovely, lovely little package and slip. And believe it or not, kids, I got something extra for you. That's what it arrived in. And I tried to share this on Facebook, but for some odd reason, Facebook, you're horrible when it comes to actually limiting videos. Damn it. Yes, you are. I tried to share this with everybody. Such a shame. But, anyways, I love her to pieces, and that was a very big highlight of my day yesterday and my week in general. So again, to the former Yuri Chan over here, or current Mayuko, thank you, love. I appreciate it. I'm even more into my 6 year old mode. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. This is what she was talking about with me shifting. For some odd reason, I don't know when this truly began. I'll be brief. I don't know when this shift really began, where I would actually go from this to I love you, or my voice just changing. I think it began maybe Mel Mel. I think I did it with you. I think I started doing it with you because you would feel a certain way. Yeah, if my memory serves me right, I actually started shifting my voice when Mel Mel came on the show. But I was doing that way before there was even a Black Lions airspace. All right, we've done a great job, and it's time for me to start plugging away her stuff. So please look for her on Facebook and Instagram, and she's not afraid to talk to you. She's arms wide open, as Creed would say. And she's always looking for guests to be a part of her show. And we need more majestic moments because there's plenty of negativity out there. And I say majestic moments comes at a time we need it. And I'm not saying that to kiss her. I'm not saying that because I guessed it on. We need more for ourselves.
Mhm.
And who better than the lovely one over there to help guide the way? She's a major piece to it, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So usually I would do this, let you listen to the outro bit. But you know what? I'm going back to my foundations. I'm going back to my source. So listen up, kids. This is the true outro. There is one goal, one aim, one road, one focus, and that's love. Even if it sounds like I am pissed, I am not at times. I am very misunderstood. I come from a place of love, even if it sounds like I'm venting. And this show that you're listening to, overall called Black Lions Airspace, was founded because of love. And from that, it will stay. I thank all of you out there, kids out there, for listening. And please come back, especially when Jan Love, Janet Brent, hi, hon, joins me this coming Monday. Well, in that she is still good to go. And to Mayuko Fukino Mayhilch, my beloved Oksa, I bow to her respect as we get ready to fade into the sunset. So, with that said, I love you all wholly from the bottom of my heart. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.